Okay, so let's take a look at how you can set up Redis server on GCP. So I have created one demo account on GCP, and also I have my project ready. Also billing is enabled. Only thing left is activating the billing after the trial. Right, so during the trial I can try out Redis server as well. So to do that, I created Google Cloud account, created project, and now I will move to compute engine where I will click on VM instance. Right, now in VM instance page you will find all the settings and option on the left, VM instances to the right. So by default you won't find any particular instance as such through this create instance forum. So you will be taking a look at marketplace option. For instance, click on marketplace, so it will kind of pop up this drawer from the right, and here you will have to set the price to free, and then you will also have to search for Redis from marketplace. Hit enter and it should search for that particular instance. Right, now let's take a look at Redis instance from the market, where I can see the pricing. By default Google will have very high prices for high number of nodes, so I will reduce that. So click launch. Right, so it will update the background with that particular configuration, then again click launch, so you'll be taken to that particular API page, and it will check the API and then goes to deployment. Here you'll see deployment gets the name Redis 1. Currently it says click to deploy Redis usage free, so 00. Now it says machine type E2 standard, so I will edit this because I want to edit the price. So shared core I will pick 2 eCPU and 4 GB memory, that is more than enough. Then 20 GB of disk space, that is also good. If you want to reduce that, there is no harm with that. We will allow TCP port 6379 to 6379 as 2 ports for this VM. Right, and next what we will do is we'll also take a look at option memory optimize general purpose. Here you can pick the instance count 3. Here you can see specify value between 3 and 11, so we'll pick the most minimal option. So let's pick something like 2 GB memory and 1 CPU. Right, so in summary we will be seeing what we have selected. So we'll be installing these Debian and Redis. So 2 GB memory, 2 CPU is one that you can select. Alternatively you also have option to go with 4 GB memory. There is also high-end configuration, will not be picking that one up. Right, then you can see persistent nodes, no persistence, and you can see all nodes, 2 nodes, 3 nodes, no persistence, can go with as well. Right, so you don't want the data to store to disk, you can see that as well. Right, however instance count you will have between 3 to 11, so that's pretty much set on the side. Now all the options checked, you can reduce the size. You can also pick from 10 GB as well, but it can't be less than 20, so let's go with that. Then there is also network interface related defaults you can check. Right, so network default, subnet default, and ephemeral, that you can check as well. Now we have selected most of the options. You can enable stack driver if you want, so in my case I'll be keeping that as it is. Right, so stack driver logging and monitoring, that should give you an idea of what to go with. Right, now next thing would be to also take a look at deployment. It will take a minute or so. In fact it works pretty quickly. especially for Redis. So we will click deploy. It will start the deployment and it will open deployment manager, as you can see, and on the right you will have user and user password. There will be more available based on IP address and port to access the Redis. So we'll also open another tab so that we can access the VM instance, right? So here on this console I will go to top navigation menu, and I will also take a look at option for compute engine and VM instance, right? So here you will see one of the Redis deployment in process, right? As you can see, 3 nodes total are in motion, right? So we will have to check the first one with SSH. So we'll be going there. So let this one deploy and show us the success message. Right here you can see connect to Redis primary server. Initial Redis master Redis 1. Use the gcloud command below to connect. So we'll copy this and try and access it. So if we use this particular cloud shell, let me maximize. If you want, you can also take this particular cloud shell to new window. So I'm taking this to new window, and as they said, I will copy this particular command and run it, right? And once we do that, you can also give it the password, this particular password. So let's see what we have, and let's copy this and come here and paste it. Use tab to go at the end and say authorize, and it should ask you for password. Then you can copy this and come back here. Right, it will tell you that private SSH key file for cloud does not exist. You do not have SSH key for gcloud. You can generate. This requires 2 minutes to create the directory before being able to generate SSH key. You can say yes, and then next generating key pair. Enter passphrase, we will skip, right? And we have our keys created. Google Compute Engine and Google underscore Compute Engine dot pub. Right, once SSH metadata is updated for that, we'll have our own SSH key setup as well. Now we are inside Redis. So here I can type in clear first so that I can get in. Now here type in Redis -CLI. If you want to get the settings, click settings. So let me check if I have an option for that. Okay, this is the setting, terminal preference, font size. Let's say Redis CLI, right? So we will use Redis -CLI, and there we go. We can see the port and localhost, both of them. Then we are connected to Redis CLI. Now we can go ahead and do our work with Redis database on Google Cloud. At the end, when you are running out of all the options to use it, or simply you don't want to use it at all, right? So because considering this is cloud, and you don't want to run some instance that will cause you bills forever, right? So here what we will do is we will click on deployment manager. You can see the current instance. Click on deployment manager, and here you will find deployment. Now this is the deployment that is in use right now. we will be deleting all the resources underneath, and that way you would be able to get rid of any further billing, right? So if there is no use for any particular instance of Redis or any database server, instead of finding ways to use it for some testing purpose, simply get rid of it and don't cause yourself any further bills. Click on delete. Even in deployment manager, that should get rid of resources and VM and disk, right? So it will take a bit of time, but it will be deleted, and it will show you the message that even the deployment is removed, right? And you will also get the notification at top here, right? So